legendary.
They actually just opened one in Hollywood.
Did they really?
Yeah, it's
Oh
actually
man,
really nice. We went one time, and I forgot who we. Well, I don't know why I can't remember who we saw. The only thing I don't like about the Blue Note is they try to get as many motherfuckers in there as possible. It's so packed, bro. But
right.
so
Hey, was it Blue Note that gave Billie Holiday her first deal? I forgot, but I know Blue Note was like
yeah. And
the.
there's a you might be right about that. I think you're right about that.
I
Actually,
forgot, but I know that basically, if it had the Blue Note label, you were getting a killer jazz record
yep,
back in the day.
yep.
That was some.
They
That's a
they have a
court.
remix
Yeah.
too. They have a hip hop remix album that you should check out. I'll send it to you.
Ooh, I'd love
Yeah,
to hear.
it's dope. It's
Thank
really
you, man.
dope.
Courtney, of course, one of the famous songwriters who screwed black artists out of royalties.
Yeah.
Back in
Hilarious.
the
Yo,
40s and
what's
50s.
that? Who's that? They did the movie about him. The kid with the high pitched
Cadillac
voice.
Records. Was it Cadillac Records? No.
No. Who's he died of a heroin overdose. Lorenz Tate played him in the movie.
Frankie Lyman.
Frankie Lyman. There you go.
Lyman.
Hey, did you know Frankie Lyman? Did you know Frankie Lyman?
Yeah.
Courtney?
Oh,
You
Courtney.
babysat him, right?
There's knowing Frankie, and then there's being around Frankie.
Yes.
That's two different things.
I got it. That's just what the record exec said when he stole his
Oh,
and I don't think that there was anything stolen from anybody. I think that there was some borrowing, maybe.
Yeah, there it is. That's a good way to put it.
And just some assistance.
Jesus Christ.
Well, if any of the story is true, him putting his name on the record as a writer when he didn't write anything, that's like what the guy from the record label did. Like,
yes,
he put his name.
That was evil. They screwed so many people out of so much money, and of course, we can. God, we should have a whole episode about this. But like, man, it's not politics, but it is another evil thing. Was what they did to Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke was 1,000% murdered because he wouldn't turn over his masters. That was, and same thing to Homeboy happened to everybody back then. The kid from El Paso, I fought the law and the law won. Bobby Fuller. He owned all of his masters, and they found him beaten to death in a car in Hollywood. And it was same shit as Sam Cooke. He owned all of his masters. And like, nah, fuck this. Like, fucking.
I need my kids and kids to be okay. So I need to take your money right now.
Yeah, sorry about this, pal. That's why it's like
I need a third yacht to go to Catalina.
Right. Yeah. It's just fucking. So, my God, we thought by the way, this is a We Ain't Right podcast. We are the comedians who talk, and a writer who talk politics, fun shit, all kinds of good shit. I'm Jerry Rocha. Let's go around. Introduce yourselves, gang.
Ty Barnett.
Courtney Subtle.
Eddie Pence.
Look at us. Here we are. And I thought it was shitty when they got rid of Arsenio show because he had Farrakhan on. I thought that was like,
that was the bridge too far.
We'll never see anything like this again. And what the fuck has happened now since we've last spoke? Boy, has some things happened in the world of showbiz.
I would tell you this. I got to go back and look, but I don't know if it was the other way around with Arsenio, but I saw the documentary on something, and Arsenio, I think they told him that his show was ending.
Right.
And then he booked Farrakhan. I don't know which one came first. But
yes, right.
But either way it goes, it was the end. It was the
end was there.
Yes. The end was there. Either he saw the writing on the wall and booked Farrakhan, or he booked Farrakhan and then saw the writing on the wall. But to what you said, and I got to be honest when I say this, I didn't even really want to talk about this today because I have been so depressed.
I know, dude. I know.
About how quickly and how worse things have gotten in this country.
Within a week.
Within a fucking week. Now, here's what people got to understand. If you allow this, everything has been a litmus test with this dude. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you allow him to do this, you already allowed him to do it with Colbert. You're allowing him to do it here. Eventually, he won't want you saying anything about him. I say that to say, when you finally realize as a farmer, he took your farm, you won't be able to say shit. when you realize as a poor middle class citizen that he took your health care, whether you voted for him or not, you won't be able to say a fucking thing. Yep. When you realize your kid is less safe in school because they did nothing to protect your child, you won't be able to blame them at all. This is what people keep fucking not understanding. The tribalization of this country has allowed this dude literally to strip everyone's fucking rights.
Everyone. And and Kai, you also mean the dumbasses taking a victory lap over Kimmel on his behalf. They're not.
Well, that's the most disappointing thing as comedians, as artists, to see other comedians not being as outraged about this and almost trying to do mental gymnastics to justify it because Gina Carano got canceled by Disney or Tucker Carlson got fired by Fox for completely other reasons. And those were Gina Carano was told by Disney, stop doing those tweets. She kept doing them. They fired her. Tucker Carlson got fired because he cost Fox News $700 million for lying his ass off every night.
Yes.
This is the government, the FCC, coercing a private business to end a show because they don't like the speech coming out of that show. And the way that other comedians are being so either purposely or actually stupid about this is the most irritating, enraging thing about all of this.
Eddie, I don't know what's worse. Is just, okay, I'm going to be the fucking worm tum chicken shit who's going to hide behind this, or I'm too fucking stupid to, I don't know what's worse.
I don't know. But I think you have, Courtney, I want you to weigh in, but I'll tell you guys a story about Disney in a second, but I want Courtney, go ahead. I know you had a thought to go in on this, and then I'll come back.
I was knocking back some cocktails with Lenny Bruce back in the day.
Of course, come on.
And I remember talking to him about
with him
because he was getting shut down left and right, couldn't get a freaking gig.
Right.
And, we're having a couple of
Mai Tais, right? That was your drink.
No, not Mai Tais, gym fizzes. and I asked him, why is the comedy crew not backing you up? Where are the voices? Where did they go? Why aren't you supporting that?
Right.
And anyway, he snorted some heroin, and we didn't get into the rest of it. But it was a bad time for him and for comedy. I bring that up to say this:
we've survived it.
We did come back from Lenny.
Yeah.
We came back from the House Un-American Activities Committee back in the McCarthy era. I remember being.
You want to talk about Lenny Bruce?
Yeah,
got handcuffed and taken to jail for saying the word schmuck on stage. So that's fucking horrific and insane.
But there wasn't at the time, I don't believe at the time of Lenny Bruce doing that, there was a whole subsect of comedians claiming to be free speech warriors.
No, there was not. No, there was not.
And then when the rubber hit the road, they all turned into a bunch of cowards.
Right. I mean, because all fucking Kimmel did was point out how little of a fuck Trump could give about anybody getting murdered. That's it. On his side, that's all he pointed out, and that's what got rid of him. Meanwhile, Brian Kilmeade is going to be on it. He's going to fucking put on blackface next week, daring Fox to cancel him, and they're not going to. That's what's fucking insane is Brian Kilmeade said, kill homeless people, and no one gives a fuck. No one's going to do anything to him. I really mean it. How far is he going to test it?
And there's been 2 shootings at homeless encampments since he said that.
He said that. Now, is he going to, next, I'm waiting for him to guest on that stupid show, The Five. And when the liberal chick speaks up, he just open hand slaps her to shut her up.
Yeah.
Because nothing's going to happen.
Oh, bro, listen.
Nothing's going to happen. He could do an entire episode in a horrific, fake, fucking dreadlock wig in black.
He could do Mickey Rooney's impression of an Asian man.
In Breakfast at Tiffany's, he could be doing a Jamaican guy doing the worst, hackiest, most racist Jamaican accent in blackface, and no one's going to give a fuck. No one's going to do anything.
And this is why people need to understand the severity of this, no matter what side you're on. Right. And by the way, it's weird. This dude talks about the person who off Charlie Kirk more than the person that tried to off him, supposedly.
Absolutely.
This is strange.
I've
never seen such obvious distraction. But here's the thing.
Yes.
So years ago, a friend of mine, we're not friends anymore, but not because of this thing that he did.
Right.
But he used to like speak in absolutes and say all white people this, all white people that, all this. And I would always tell him, I said, first of all, speaking in absolutes is irresponsible. Not all of one thing is this, and this. But he would post them and tag him so they show on my page. So I would have to tell him, this is one of my best friends. I would have to call him and say, hey, bro, you can't put this on my page. Right. I said, I first of all, this is not what I believe, but also I got other people that look at this, and I like companies, like I was working for Disney. I'm like, I can't have them thinking that I think this thing.
Right.
So in that sense, to me, the level of responsibility, I understand that you got to watch what you say. But like you said, this is the government. The government's doing this. This is not like you coming out and saying, like I could see if he would have said, that dude deserved to go. He deserved it, whatever happened to him.
Right.
It's a harsh thing to say.
Yes.
But for you to come in and say, now this is the part that makes me the most angry about this week. This is why I didn't really want to talk about it a whole lot. Less than 24 hours after that happened, that dude went in front of from the White House, blamed an entire political party. The entire political party. He used his voice to put a target on the back of every single liberal in the fucking country. And you're telling me, and then like you said, the guy was saying about the homeless people, those two things are cool.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Kimmel saying something is the bridge too far.
Is the call to arms.
Come on, man. This is so obvious what they're doing. And I said this last night on stage. Now I'll be quick in this, but I want you to understand why I did it. Last night, all I said on stage was, now mind you, I was on stage 15 minutes. I did 13 minutes of straight jokes. They love the set, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
A minute and a half to say, hey, you guys, we should care about each other. This is how we fix this. We got to have empathy and truth back in the world. But that's all I said, right? And then I closed on my closer, which was great. Great set. This morning, I see somebody say, I came for a comedy show.
Oh, God.
About such and such. And he said it was a waste. And I wrote him back because I'm like, I'm done with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me get this straight. Out of my entire set, I took a minute and a half to say something that would help you as a human being. And your problem is what I said and not the fact that what I said is true.
Yep.
I said all that to say this. The thing with Jimmy Kimmel is a litmus test, just like the thing with Stephen Colbert was a litmus test. Yeah. And the thing, to bring it back to Courtney with Lenny Bruce, the difference was you didn't have a country that was so fucking brainwashed.
Right.
That half of the country is like, okay, you could take his freedom of speech. If you want mine, you can have it too, just in case. That's where we at now.
It is crazy. Yes, Master. Please take it from me, Master.
They don't think they're going to take it from him. They think they completely align with him and everything. So they have no fear that anything he will do will affect them.
It's because I don't know who the fuck did it.
Them now.
Yeah. I don't know if it started with Nixon, but it's that thing where we see where like the white Christian male believes they're untouchable. Doesn't matter what, as long as they're white and Christian, they believe they're in some 1% camp of untouchability. That's what they all think. Courtney, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just going to say this, that those comments that kill me, Dud, it's not something I'm proud of, and it's not something I'm ashamed. I've been homeless twice in my life, sleeping in parks, under bridges, eating in soup kitchens, begging for money. Back in the day, I wasn't doing so well. And let me tell you something.
Now you got a button-up shirt.
I know.
Yeah, look at that. And an on-air sign.
And an on-air sign. And a plant. A fucking plant behind.
And I'm pretty popular in the Van Heusen chat rooms, too.
There it is.
You brought the outdoors into you. That's how much of a giver you are.
Right.
You brought the outdoors inside.
Oh, God, I love being here. But when I tell you that when you're on the streets, you have no voice, no one to defend you.
Right.
The most vulnerable population. And that's one of the reasons I think there wasn't such a big backlash. There's nobody standing up. And authoritarians go after the most vulnerable populations with the least amount of political clout.
Yeah.
So that's why they're going after the homeless people. That's why they're going after the trans people. This is authoritarian. As our producer Marco said in the pre-meet, he talked about the urbanization, the Victor urbanization of our country. And that's what's going on. So that's kind of personal to me. when he did that, because literally homeless people die and are murdered every day on the streets.
I can't imagine the fear.
And no one even there. It's not even reported. No news, no care, no nothing. They just take him to the morgue, bury him in a pauper's grave, and that's it. And a lot of those people are veterans, and that's where we are now, is attacking the most vulnerable.
Yes,
and people
who have served our country.
And children who are nutrition insecure. I mean, there's 1 million people in South Florida right now who don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Right.
How many of those people do you think voted for Trump?
Oh, exactly.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. Eddie, the people who at the encampment, did they say whether they were white, black, or whatever?
They did. The story I saw, no, there was just 2 mass shootings at homeless encampments after he said those words.
And so my point is, his words, which for some reason everybody wants to police everybody's words except his. This is what's fucking bananas to me. Like, we got to walk on eggshells in what we say, and people like homeless people have real repercussions based off those words. But Kimmel, the Colberts, these people, we can't point these things out. But then what will happen is, if you take a Kimmel off, like you took a Colbert off, then eventually you come after anybody on the left. By the way, the other dude got to say he was a fucking Nazi, and he was recommended for the job. He was recommended for the job.
And then he went on Fallon the night after.
But now Eddie, that brings it to the other part of, why are so many other people capitulating to this? Why would Fallon, who at one point Fallon said, we don't even do politics. He wanted to be the fluffy guy. Like, we don't talk about this shit. You mean you bring a literal Nazi on? What do you? So at some point,
what did that get him? Trump wants to cancel him too.
Yes.
You see what I mean? That's what I mean. It's like, what was your point of kissing this dude's ass?
That's why you never kiss his ass. That's why, and I talked about this with Eddie, Ty, and Courtney for so long. Is I always, and I don't, none of them even deserve to be named, but I never understood the comedians that took the conspiracy theory route, that took the MAGA route, that took the QAnon route, because that group has no loyalty. That audience can't fucking wait to turn on anyone, even the person who invited them into the party.
Yeah,
they can't wait to go, I think that person's too deep. They're still too deep state. They're fucking, that is a emotionally fragile group, if there's ever been one, and no one should want it. Damn, last thing you should fucking do is court those fucking idiots. That's the last thing any entertainer should fight. You don't want that fucking crowd. You don't want those dumb motherfuckers showing up at your show, and then you say one wrong fucking thing. Bye-bye.
Talk about getting canceled. Yeah.
Well, there's a reason, and that's it. And I was so the comedian that went on before me the other night, because again, I'm sitting in the showroom, bro, and I'm like, I can't. How the fuck is this a thing? So I'm sitting there like massively trying to work up the energy to go entertain these people, right?
When you just found out that there's a war on us.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So as I'm sitting there, and I didn't even know she was going to do this, by the way.
Right.
So she goes up and she mentions Kimmel. She mentions on stage.
Yeah.
Now, I know I've taken these chances on stage before where, like, at somewhere in my show, I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to get to see you guys face to face. So I'm going to use this platform to at least try to help. If it works, it works, whatever, right? So to hear this other person say it helped, because it was like, cool, other people see it. So when she got off stage, I pulled her to the side. She's like, was that too much? I was like, no. I said, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, because more people need to see what the fuck is happening. More people need to acknowledge, because what I think is going to happen is one day he's just going to say, fuck all of you.
Yes.
And even his supporters will be like, how the fuck did this happen?
How are we on these crosshairs? Well, because you weren't fucking paying attention.
You weren't paying attention.
This guy has no loyalty. He's a fucking rabid dog. Who's also dumb as shit. So it's even worse. He's not even an intelligent, rabid, starving beast. He's a fucking stupid. And the other thing too about why do you capitulate? You see what happens when you don't capitulate. This guy turns into the biggest fucking pussy and folds immediately.
Yes.
Look at Pritzker. He was gonna all about to invade Chicago. Pritzker told him to go fuck his mother. Now he's invading Memphis. Well, what the fuck? Look at that. That's all you got to do is stand up to this motherfucker, and he fucking shrinks because he's a fucking spineless fucking worm.
Great fucking point, Jerry. And also, you know who else? Worm. The tariffs. Yeah. Look at how the motherfuckers are standing up to him with the tariffs.
Fuck
and they're like, nah, man, we good.
Fuck yourself. Yeah.
Like, do your thing. We'll be fine. You know?
But go ahead, Eddie.
No, one of the big issues though we have is there's Nexstar and there's Sinclair Media, which are owned by super conservative people,
right,
that are wanting to do exactly what he does, and it doesn't matter if he backs down. They're the ones at this point where they're making these decisions.
That's why it's just maddening that those who are the people in charge of those companies, right? Because if there was someone who didn't feel that way, they probably would have stood up to him. You know what I mean? Kimmel would probably still be fine. You know, if things were different.
I mean, I had a huge argument this morning because I posted something last night about he probably fucked Epstein. That's why he doesn't want to, or whatever I posted.
That was funny.
I got people were coming at me this morning and it was another comic. I don't even know where he's from, but he was going at me complaining, no, you got to blame the companies for doing this. I'm like, this is the FCC forcing these companies to do this. Yeah, Disney could have had a backbone, but guess what? Sinclair Media pulls their affiliates everywhere off ABC, and then they lose billions of dollars and the company tanks. Disney's not going to do that. They're going to do whatever the people say. They're going to do what the government says because they can't afford to lose billions.
They can't afford to lose that. It's
as shitty as it is that they're not going to do that.
You're absolutely right. But here's what I'm not getting, and I want all you guys' opinions on this. I don't understand these billionaires, these companies, their end game, because let's say you get everybody to either be super sick from losing their health care, you take their jobs away, you take away their will to live. What do you have to make money off of? If there are no viewers watching your show, you're not making any money. If there's no viewers watching the show, that means you can't sell ad dollars.
Look at Target. Look at Target. Target went anti-DEI. They've been losing money ever since.
And so that's the part I don't get. But go ahead.
I have a really dystopian view on why that is. They're creating a completely automated AI-driven workforce. That's where people are losing jobs constantly, and these jobs are never going to come back. These are being replaced by AI, automated technology.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where the only way society will be able to function is either with some sort of universal basic income or a mass extinction event.
Right.
That's the only way it's going to work itself out, because there's not going to be enough jobs for people to make money to support an economy. So we either have to wipe out half the population or have some sort of universal basic income. And guess what? They're not going to do.
They're not going to give us universal basic income.
Yeah. Right. And those are the two things that are going to happen.
Well, but see now, and so then I hope you guys understand my depression. Because I don't see this thing working out in a way to where the heroes stand up. I see it in a way to where something is forced to happen. Unfortunately, it's going to affect a lot of people. This is why, if you take away, because here's what's really tripping me out about this. So he gets rid of the people who report the job numbers. He is going to get rid of the person at the Fed. He's going to get so he's taking the government people out that say anything real.
Right.
Let's not even say bad. Let's say real. Anything that is a real thing about the job performance he's doing, he wants them gone. So now you don't get an accurate jobs number. Then you don't get accurate information about what's going on in the government, nothing like that. So then you take away people who talk about it in entertainment. So now you get no information about anything bad at all. But your life is bad. You just don't have information as to why. Now, what happens in that moment is people get desperate and they turn on the person closest to them. That means their neighbor. That means the people up the street. That means the person at the local store. That means all the people in that person's radius. So the person who's fucking this up for them never gets touched, and apparently never gets blamed by certain people.
Right.
But it gets affected by the people in the other area. That's why, to your point, Eddie, it will have to turn into something like that. Unfortunately, a lot of us gonna get caught up in it.
Yeah, I mean,
the Fed cut the interest rate by a quarter point yesterday, and not because everything's going well. You don't cut the interest rate when things are going well.
Opposite.
Inflation's going up, interest rates going down. So that's not good. None of those are good.
Could you imagine being a farmer today? That's Jesus Christ.
The money in your bank account is making less money today.
Yes. Courtney, what was your
Not because things are going well.
Back when I was a Senate page in the 1950s, during the McCarthy hearings. All right.
Wait, with the little hat that had the propeller on it, correct?
Hilarious.
Is that right? The little propeller hat running around in your
everybody had those, Eddie.
in your galoshes.
Galoshes.
Okay. Anyway. So back in that time, there was
teachers really used to fuck students back then. Not like this bullshit you see
I'm
today.
not going to talk about the extracurriculars
back then,
in the cloakroom.
Shit,
cloakroom
the teacher knew how to fuck an 8th grader. All right.
So there was terror that this un-American House Un-American Activities Committee. I mean, writers were losing their jobs. People committed suicide because they were blacklisted in Hollywood.
Right.
The list went on, and I'm here to tell you that eventually came to an end. They went a bridge too far. It came to an end. McCarthy died of alcoholism in disgrace, and that whole thing, they'd rather just sweep it under the history. There's one thing that we have now that they didn't have back then, and it's this right here. We've got access to get our message out, and we don't need to rely on ABC, NBC, CBS, anybody to do that. Now, Ty, I can see your
No. What I was going to ask you,
yeah,
I'm seriously going to ask you. I need you to tell me something good.
I'm going to tell you something good.
I know, and I'm being desperate. I don't see anything good, so I need you to tell me something good.
Courtney is good at this. I will give him. Courtney is very good. There are so many times before this podcast.
I need it, bro.
Dude,
like when he survived the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. That was an amazing story.
Listen, we couldn't see the sun for 3 years.
That's right.
It's fine.
We're still here. Yeah, I mean, because Jerry has called me like this several times, and I'm like, put the gun down.
Because I knew Courtney was a guy who fucking walked into a bar in Jerusalem going, guys, we lost Jesus. It's going to be okay. Look, they got Jesus. They fucked him up.
Then the peasant
make a comeback, guys. Trust me.
Then the peasant came with the fake hand.
Yeah, the fake hand. The peasant with the flipper hand.
For those of you that have watched all the war episodes, you know what we're talking about. And if you don't, we're just fortunately kind of left my humiliating bar stories behind.
That's the longest callback in history, Courtney.
Yeah, it was a great one. Ty, that was a great one. That was masterful, Ty. That was a 8-episode callback.
Yes.
Now, Courtney, because I will let me set the table there. When during Trump's first administration, I probably was ready to jump off a bridge 8 or 9 times. Courtney helped with this. So Courtney, come on, baby, give us a good shit.
Not being a student of history, having actually lived the history.
There it is.
Okay. What I can tell you is that at a certain point, there was always a tipping point.
Yeah. And
we're getting close to that, even though it may not look like it. This thing with the overreach that we've seen right now with the free speech thing, it even has probably half of the Republican movement freaked out as well. The Turning Point USA, there's a civil war in there right now over who's going to get the
fascinating.
They are fighting each other tooth and nail to determine where that thing is going.
Because that's a lot of money, right, Courtney?
That's millions, a lot of money of dollars.
Well, his wife got put in charge of that today.
She got put in charge of that. But here's the thing: when they're fighting each other, you know what they're not doing? They're not focused on us, and we can focus on the problem at hand, which is winning Virginia and New Jersey in 2 months, and winning in the midterms. And the other thing is history has shown is that yes, Ty, in some ways we turn on each other. But eventually, as any European country and several Middle Eastern countries and our own country right here, when there's taxation without representation, when you can't feed your family, when you have no hope and no future, you know what you do? You look at the big mansion on the hill and you go burn that fucker down. They're thinking short term, not long term.
That is a great point. And to something that Courtney, we've both talked about, and Ty, here is something, because yes, it is, the evil is working to an extent, and it's terrifying. But you see why Kimmel got taken off the air. It was to save a merger, right? But what gives me hope is Pritzker. He saved Chicago because he just said, no, fuck you. And Trump caved. And Alice, because that's going to help. Trump's a fucking coward. And this is the big help. He's a fucking moron. And so are a lot of the people around him. If Trump had half a brain, this podcast wouldn't exist right now. We would have been gone a long time ago. If Trump had half a brain.
What you're saying, I agree. All right, sorry.
Hey, I just got to be, of the four of us, remember, those three guys are the comedians. Still. It's not me.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go after someone,
but you know what else?
Three funny guys.
Those against us. But and it's just like, and this is something. And I know this isn't like hopeful news, but it just shows how spineless and chicken shit all these guys are, because they can't handle any pushback. I'm gonna ask Ty and Eddie this, because a friend of mine who embarrassingly jumped on the MAGA bandwagon. So now we just talk sports, and that's it. The second he's piping up about something else, gotta go. Bye-bye. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear it. But he, years ago, when all this shit started, he had asked me, oh, it must be tough, man, going out and doing comedy shows with all these woke liberals complaining about everything. And I said, you know what, dude? The only time I've ever gotten any bullshit from a heckler is when I make fun of Republicans. That's it. They're the most thin-skinned members of the audience ever. And Ty has seen my comedy. We've all seen each other's comedy. We have no problem breaking anybody's balls, right? And anytime we break balls, usually the group whose balls are being broken are laughing, because they know we're not coming from a place of hate. We're coming from a place of satire and comedy. However, when we're still coming from a place of lighthearted jokes and I make a crack about Trump, that's when I get 9 motherfuckers standing up at that old Improv in Tahoe wanting to fist fight me. It's like, what the fuck? Well, Ty, you get a guy emailing you, I wanted to see a comedy show, and for 14 seconds, he told me to love everybody.
And that's the part that I think people need to be the most disturbed about. Yeah. Is that I said, hey, man, what's happening in this country is going to affect 97% of us. That means us. And it was crazy. The first thing I said was, I give a fuck about every single one of you. That's how I even started my thing. I was like, I care about all of you. Yeah. And your takeaway from that was, how dare you take a minute and 45 seconds from your fucking time on your stage to say this. So to what you just said, Jerry, it looks to me, people have been so tribalized that it makes them angry that you are, because their identity is his.
Yes.
Even if he's fucking them over, their identity is him. They are him. So anytime you say something bad, even if they know that this is the guy fucking them over, to them, they take it personally. Like, how dare you talk about my family, my friend? This ain't your family. This ain't your friend.
They still buy it though.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And his thing, if there was no truth in it, if there's no truth in the jokes you made, or what you said, why are you upset?
Why are they mad? Why friend,
are you so angry?
My dear friend who passed away, Mike DiStefano, had this great joke where he goes, you know who hates being called the C word? Cunts. They can't stand it. He goes, if I'd have called you a turnip, you wouldn't have been angry because you're not a turnip. And he goes, one time after a show, this woman came up to me and said, you know, calling a woman the C word is the same as calling a black person the N word. And Mike goes, well, no, because the N word was a word that was created to make an entire group of people feel bad about themselves. And he paused and he goes, being a cunt was a choice you made when you woke up this morning. And it was just perfect. But like, they are the thinnest skinned. And yes, like and do you know, I don't know if y'all heard, Joy Reid had a brilliant brilliant thing on her podcast, right? About why are they so angry? Did you see that?
Like, I saw the intro of it when she said, "You guys got everything you wanted. You got why are you still so angry?" He's like, what's the big deal? What are you so angry about now? Yep.
Did you hear why her theory as to why they're so angry? Mm-hmm. It's brilliant, and it's to your point, Ty, because they're not getting adoration. They're getting what they want, but the rest of us who vastly outnumber them are not embracing what they're behind with open arms. We're pointing out how fucked up and evil it is, and they can't compute that. They can only, they're like, wait, but we're supposed to
you have to also factor in, I agree with that part of it too, what you said, but you also have to factor in that they're at their core miserable fucking people.
Yes.
That right there. That part right there.
Miserable fucking people. I have relatives that are on that side of the fence. And my entire life, at their core, they've been angry about something.
Well, you know what?
And I come from a white upper middle class family that never wanted for anything.
Right.
And there's still people in my family that have a chip on their shoulder for some fucking reason. And those are the ones who are on that side of the fence.
And it's like, and I came from a very lower middle class family. My mom had to win at bingo if I was going to get a toy. You know what I mean? But
I grew up in Bel Air.
But we were always happy. And there is that miserableness.
They're miserable fucking people.
Because, and this goes to Courtney, I promise, I got to say this one thing. Kevin Smith did the only thing, because look, let's talk Star Wars for a second. I hated the fucking prequels, right? I think most people who grew up in the original trilogy hated the fucking prequels. Now, I didn't hate the prequels for the reason Kevin Smith defended, but he had a great point, because a lot of people were complaining at how whiny of a character Anakin Skywalker was, right? And Kevin Smith said it perfectly. He goes, well, yeah, that's who turns to the dark side. Are the complainers, are the whiners. Though, if you're a complete badass, he's a Jedi. But though
he's Obi-Wan Kenobi,
right? The
Mace
weak
Windu.
ones,
Yep.
Mace. The weak ones are the ones who turn to the dark side. So, Courtney, sorry, I just had to get that. Go ahead, man, please.
No. Listen, it's such a great point, because Stephen Miller was rejected by a Mexican American who would not go on a date for him.
Right.
And he became the most miserable, vengeful person. And if you listen to his rhetoric, recently in the last 2 days, he wants to come after Democratic groups. He wants to weaponize the Justice Department against what he calls hate. He wants to destroy NGOs. He wants to destroy any organization that speaks the truth and does that. And it all stems from the fact that he was rejected by a woman decades ago. And all these miserable people. They're marginal and they're bullies, because, I mean, Jerry and I talk about the fact that if we knew Stephen Miller on the playground, we'd probably be beating him up.
We fucked him up so many times.
We'd fuck him up.
Fuck that guy up. Just out of principle.
So that's where it's not coming from a place of policy and good governance. It's coming from a place of hate, because he's rejected and nobody likes him. And he's a miserable SOB. And that's why he's trying to destroy this country, to just get even.
Because he's a loser.
Send these people to Algeria. Send them to El Salvador. Because of him being rejected. That's all that is.
No, you're absolutely right. This is the kid that had the greatest, the nicest uniform, freshest shoes, but couldn't play ball.
Couldn't
play ball. And
there it is, man. There it is. Had the best equipment, the brand new cleats, cost twice as much as the cleats of the kid next to him, who's a starter. Absolutely.
And no talent. But he looked the part. And then when he gets rejected, he's like, fuck the whole team. And I'm having my dad pull the funding. So it's
Ty, he's a dude who shows up with the $150 official NBA basketball, but he can't hit a layup.
That's right.
Like, what?
But that But you said it perfectly too, Eddie, is that at the end of the day, these are just shitty people, because I've had this conversation with multiple people. One of my best friends we had this conversation where he's like, man, sometimes it might just be that these people are misinformed. I'm like, hold on, man. Nah. Either you're never, ever seeing anything negative that this dude has done ever. I mean, like when you walk out the door, you're like this, I don't look nothing. Unless it's that you have heard somebody say something that's fucked up about this guy or this administration. Yeah. And if you have chosen to ignore that or rationalize it, marginalize it, do whatever mental gymnastics, at the core, to your point, Eddie, you're a shitty person.
Yeah.
It's just and I feel like that would be the cleanest slate to start with. Is just say you're a shitty person, you're a racist, and that's what you identify with. So that way we can stop playing all these other games. Right. We can stop playing it. Oh no, it's the semantics of the wording. And
just admit you're miserable, and that's why you like him.
And Ty, to your point, they are completely misinformed. But the saddest part is they're getting all the information they want. That's the important part. It's not they're hearing what they want. They're hearing what that loser brain wants to hear. And one thing, Courtney, I think to add to Stephen Miller's misery, it's that rejection, it's all that, and it's also the fact that he could fuck a Cheerio, and the Cheerio would be like, "What are we? Have you started?
Deeper,
you know what I mean? Like, what's that? Deeper. Are you even in me? You know, Jesus, you know what? Fuck.
I got one more thing to say.
Try your pinky. Can you just put your pinky in there? Jesus.
I forgot who used to have whose joke that was. It was somebody's joke that said, go deeper. Like, bitch, I'm giving you all the dick right now. I don't have any more dick. Do you think I got any more dick in the back?
That's my favorite Rudy Ray Moore joke is he does Rudy Ray Moore.
There's nothing in the storeroom.
Yeah, Rudy Ray Moore does that bit about fingering a chick, and she goes, "I don't feel nothing," so I put more in. I don't feel nothing, and she's like, "Your ring's hurting." He's like, "That's my fucking watch." Like that was fucking kills me. That's my watch. Oh my god.
Last thing I'm going to say on this, and then we can move on. Is that the thing about these people though? Stephen Miller is dangerous just because of who he is.
Yes.
Hitler got rejected by the art college.
Yep.
And he took that out on the world the rest of his life. Trump was never taken seriously at all by the real estate crowd in Manhattan. And he's carried that bitterness with him the entire time. Stalin was rejected from seminary. And we saw what he did. So we make light of these guys, but at the same time, their anger, their shitty personhood makes them dangerous, and we need to acknowledge that.
And you know what? One of the people who is chiefly responsible for MAGA, all this, Rush Limbaugh. I don't know if you ever heard the story Keith Olbermann told on his podcast. Rush Limbaugh, his dream was to be a Sports Center anchor. He would have traded it all for that.
Wow.
And look what you fail, and then you turn into a miserable piece of shit, and that's what happens. I mean,
hurt people all the time.
Yeah, man.
That's it. Beautiful. And what people have to understand is that, listen, you can sit here and think that these guys really got your back.
Yeah.
But I said, unless they came out with legislation that said only racists will keep their health care.
Right.
They're only racists will keep a job. I said they're not doing that. They literally are fucking you over in real time.
Yes.
And doing this to other people. So how are you winning in this? So that's why the thing that always trips me out about this is like I go back to like how people when you like going to the gym. If you put the effort in the gym, like you hate walking into the gym, you're like, fuck, man, god damn, I don't want to fucking be in here. I don't want to have to lift. It takes you a while to get warmed up, but somewhere in that workout, those endorphins kick in. You're like, oh, this was totally worth it. And then you see the benefit, right?
Yes.
If you went into the gym, worked your ass off, and you got fatter,
right?
Fatter. It's like, what the fuck are you going to the gym for?
What happened, dude?
Man, I love the endorphins, but the endorphins are fucking with you. So
you gotta fix this.
When you see this, when I see these people saying he's still our guy, and I'm like, but you're getting nothing.
You're getting nothing from it. Nothing but nothing but the thrill of seeing other people get hurt, and eventually that's going to turn to you.
It's going to turn. Yep. Eventually, it won't be enough for you to see other people suffer because you will be in the same homeless encampment. You'll be in the same homeless encampment.
Yeah, man. Fuck it. Well, I know we gotta get Eddie's got to get rolling. His kid has a football game tonight. Courtney, you're not going to believe this. They throw the ball forward now. You're not going to believe this.
They wear helmets. They wear helmets and they throw the ball
with
forward.
Like face guards. It's crazy. They throw the ball forward.
I remember talking to Pop Warner about
the
forward pass.
Yes.
And he's like, dude, it's never going to happen.
It's a thing now.
We're doing the option.
It is.
And that's what we're going to do.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, Pop wouldn't believe it, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to have to. Is there a football? I'll have to watch a football game tonight.
You have to watch the thing. Yeah, it's Hey, thank you all for tuning in to the We Ain't Right podcast. Stay safe out there. Don't give up. Keep fighting. We will be back next week. Go ahead, Ty.
Real quick. I know we get just a couple of
minutes
of time. But I'm glad you said what you just said. Don't give up. I want to make sure I say this to you guys. I have not been feeling great for the last couple of days. Like it's been mentally a lot. So much so, like on the plane ride in, I literally was in tears.
Yes.
Because I'm like, how the fuck are we here like this?
Yeah.
But I also want to point out that, and that's why I asked you, Courtney, for something good.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that we have to keep putting something out there for the people to believe in and understand that this can get better, because if we don't say anything, it gets worse. So I appreciate every single one of y'all. I appreciate this show.
Same.
And we got to keep putting the word out there.
And I'm gonna tell you so too. To Ty's point, we're not bullshitting you either. Just we can overcome this. We can beat this. Just don't fucking be quiet.
We are overcoming it. This is evidence of it right here.
Yep.
We suited up. We showed up, even though we didn't feel like it, and it's a bad week. And we suited up and had a few laughs.
Fuck yeah.
And
Courtney has a new neon light behind him. I mean,
we're on air. War's on air, babe.
We're here, baby. All right. We love you guys. Subscribe. Give it a 5-star rating. Positive text review. Spread the word. We'll see you all next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Peace. Later.